Hey everyone, and welcome to another reaction video. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of reaction videos lately, haven't I? Today we are going to be watching Alucard versus D from Fictional Characters Collide. Now, I've actually been given this episode a day before it's supposed to came out. It's supposed to come out because Demon gave it to me because I said I want to react to it. So, yeah, that was pretty fucking neat. Anyways, I've been a passive fan of Fictional Characters Collide for a bit, and I only think I became like a big boy fan quite recently. So I'm excited to see how this episode is. Now for my personal connections with either character, I don't really have any for Alucard. I only know from the death battle, and I have absolutely none for D. So this is going to be a fun learning experience, I guess. Whatever. Oh, my cat's at the door. Hold up. Anyways, back to what I was doing. Yeah, yeah, let's begin.
The vampire, one of horror's most original and iconic creatures, being feared their
no spread.
But when you need someone to kill a vampire, sometimes the best for the job is their own kind.
Like Alucard, England's most dangerous vampire killer.
And
from what I remember from seeing the animation preview he posted on the Discord server, I'm really excited for this. The animation preview, from my memory, was really good.
Films with the novels only be used for supporting evidence if needed to further prove a valid scalable feat.
Interesting.
Now that that's out of the way, he's Demon and I'm Archer.
And it's our job to analyze these characters through their fullest, going through their feats and faults.
Demon's character changed. I don't know if that was ever explained. You know, he used to be like a fucking Hollow Knight character, but now he's like that. Is that an original design, or is that taken from a game? I don't know. Either way, I really like it. It's a funny little fucking dude.
Characters collide. Most of us know the story of Vlad the Impaler, yes? Well, what if I said y'all forgot the part of the story, the part where, he drinks demon blood and becomes a goddamn gunslinger and hellspawn working for British people?
I can't believe I forgot that famous part of the story. Sorry, it wasn't in the epic rap battle
Royalty and the occasional Nazi
of history.
They're like Nazi zombies, but a lot more dangerous, you could say. To counteract these creatures, the Helsing organization decided that the only way to fight vampires that they would need their natural enemy, that being themselves.
And who is this vampire that looks his own kind, you may ask? Well, the Helsing organization clearly gave him the name Alucard, which in reality is
not to be confused with the Castlevania guy.
Who kills vampires have something close to it.
Speaking of the devil.
Story.
I'm a dog. Then you're dog food.
Never mind, this guy's a fucking horrifyingly badass.
But he doesn't just let his looks pull him through everything. He is wielding two very special guns at his side, the first one being known as Kasul, which is a small machine hand pistol, boasting custom-made explosive .454 Kasul rounds, which are devastating to the enemy it's aimed on.
And a much bigger handgun, the Jackal is the same type of gun with similar rounds, but those bullets are coated with anti-healing church bullets. Kinda bad for most of the undead fuckers the guy has murdered during the thousands of years of slaughter.
Thousands of years, but he's only at 500.
1 kilometer away. You get the point.
But that's not all.
Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know.
Mind control you, phase through solid objects, shapeshift, make you scared of him just by looking at him, can even use telekinesis. Like the time he uses telekinesis to move not only a ship, but also a whole sea of blood. Given the weight of the blood and how much of it there was, that must have required over 6.56 kilotons of TNT.
Don't forget about his other weapons he's got. He carries a sword, a drum gun, a walking coffin, Why would anyone need that?
That's
Why
actually
not?
Alucard's own
Why
coffin.
would you not want a walking coffin? Huh, Demon?
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, anyways, like any good anime protagonist, he has multiple
Bitch.
forms, or as he calls them, levels. These levels are used to, well, murder the undead. Levels 6 through 2 are used for your everyday standard bad guys, no big deal. Alucard
Oh.
must be a dog lover like me, because
Oh,
level 1
Jesus.
is a dog you call Baskin.
Sorry, I was a bit distracted by seeing the not funny white people.
What a good dog.
Right. Well, there's one more level he can access. At any point, if Alucard is feeling lonely or wishes to stain the stars in red, he can access his most dangerous and powerful form.
0.
Yeah, level 0 is no joke. In level 0, he gains a zombie army of all the souls he consumed. And just how many souls has he taken? Not much, only about 3.
Really? Huh, that's not that bad, actually.
1,434,860 souls.
Yep, there it is. That makes more sense.
But Archer, we ain't seen why Alucard is so legendary. It's because no matter how hard you try, you can't kill him because of his overpowered regeneration. See,
Wait a
his
minute.
regeneration works
So
by
every
using
time
those
you
3
kill him,
million
he
souls in
comes
his
back.
body to heal.
New fictional
Every time you
characters
say,
collide
"Chop the
episode
head off,"
idea.
or
William
tear him to
Afton
ribbons,
versus
or just shoot him
Alucard.
so much he looks like
They
Swiss
keep on
cheese at the
coming
end.
back.
He uses a soul to regenerate
And
from it.
Hell is in
Meaning
Helsing.
theoretically, you
William
could kill
Afton
him
for
fully.
Hell. You see,
Good
it's the
fucking luck
best
doing that.
matchup I have
Yeah, if
ever
you name it,
thought of. I am
probably
so
come back from
tired.
it before.
Blown his brains, came back from it. Took a nosedive fighter jet, come right back from it. Being turned into nothing, easy. By realizing his life has no meaning, so he makes mediocre YouTube videos waiting to die, he came back from that.
I don't think he did that last one.
Shut up.
While yes, his regeneration is his greatest weapon, it's also his greatest weakness. It makes the dude super cocky, how he doesn't even dodge attacks that are thrown at him since he'll just
What's
come
this
back from
song in the background?
Which
Is this
especially
from
bad
is
because
this
in
from
level
Helsing?
0,
I
he
really
throws out
like
all
it.
his souls for Saint
I'm really
Army.
liking
So
it,
one
you
could stab through the heart or decapitation.
Why did I
with
say
vampire
no?
the best
I
yet
don't
again.
know.
But like hell is that gonna stop Alucard from kicking ass and taking names? While he may not have extremely impressive feats or stuff speed,
he's
he
kicking
certainly
ass
isn't
and
slow. He does
taking
machine gun
ass, and
fire,
he's
and
all
even
over
got a
that.
special bullet in his
What?
mouth and was flying a blackbird at Fox 3.
I was trying to
He
make a
took
joke. I
several
just kind of
famous
forgot it
roles like
halfway through.
Alexander Anderson, Zoran, Luca Valentine, and Rip Van
I
Winkle.
don't care about that application. Fuck off.
What?
I'm so sorry, but the name Rip Van Winkle isn't a name that I can say with a straight face, man. Like, we see some stupid ass names on this show, but I like to award Rip Van Winkle for the stupidest name I've said out loud.
That's
I mean,
the best
hey,
name
he
I've
kills
ever
her via
had.
shanking her with a blackbird. Given the size of the explosion and how
Don't
fast
you
the
dare
blackbird
make fun of
moves,
that guy. He is the
would be
best
around
thing on the main coin.
47 tons of TNT. So that's pretty cool.
True, but man, all those Nazi vampires must be shaking their boots at this guy.
In fact, they were so scared that they only had one way of getting rid of Alucard, which was rather simple. Have Alucard absorb the soul of Schrödinger, who's Krona but a cat, because no one knows what gender they are. Actually, the concept behind Schrödinger is rather interesting. See, the German philosopher...
Anyway, ow!
Even I wasn't finished yet.
I know, I was saving the audience from going to sleep.
Oh, excuse me. Apparently,
Demon, let the red guy talk about the fun cat, you bitch. I called him a bitch twice already.
Yep, because I get to do stuff like this. Level 1.
Level what?
Alright, so Demon has the ability of level 1 shit. I'm gonna keep that in mind when I do Demon versus
Had way too many souls inside of him, and Schrödinger couldn't identify what they were.
Uncle
Well, much like the
Grandpa.
legend of Dracula himself, Alucard returned after 30 years of soul killing and tried to get rid of that cat femboy.
So if you abandon your humanity and make the world around you a living hell, watch out, as the Vampire King will make sure the depths of hell welcome you in a warm embrace.
Yes, excellent. I haven't had this much fun in ages. What did you say your name was?
Release.
Now the year was 12,098, thousands of years after the sacred ancestor had caused the nuclear war. During this event, creatures have learned to mix up power.
Alright,
magic,
I'm assuming
under
this
the
is
potential
D
of
this time.
science.
I don't know, and I don't know anything about him, so I'm gonna try to be sorry for being a lot quieter during this segment. I'm sorry if I'm quiet a lot in general and I don't really talk. I just want to learn more, you know?
Would do if he had a nuke for the Belmonts. But that was until a certain figure in black on a horse came walking down the hill. a being full of righteousness with a single goal to right the wrongs the Sacred One has caused. A lone vampire hunter known as D.
D.
Wow, this guy. He's extremely handsome.
Well, I, for one, don't know how to respond to that, but you know what? Hey, I don't judge. And two, yeah, D has that effect on people when he
D?
isn't murdering.
That is
a
such a
vampire
creative
that causes issues
name.
in the world. Which, to know, he has a lot of things he can use to take them out, starting with his trusty longsword he keeps on him at all times, good for decapitating or impaling. He even uses it for most fights to quickly take out foes when needed to be quick.
But his second most iconic ability is his left hand. See, his hand is alive that can read minds, force you to say the truth, deduce certain elements, and even bring back demons.
What?
If he can.
I'm sorry, that
Hell, he can move on
fucking
its own when it
face.
was cut
I'm
off
gonna
D's
probably
body,
sing that
which
in my
happened in the
mouth.
manga.
Thanks.
And he put himself back onto D after eating a few pieces of the earth and removed the stake from D's heart.
What?
Alongside it, it can activate a vortex to basically suck up anything it needs. Bugs? Check. Ghosts? Check. Armies? Yeah, this hand can do all of that. But stuff like major amounts of poison does mean it has to be careful what it consumes and how much of it.
Man, if we had a nickel for every time this season we had someone with an OP talking hand that can aid them in battle, I'll have 2 nickels. I mean, it's not a lot, but we didn't have it twice, no?
Agreed. Now time for D's most strongest asset. His
What was
large
the
array
other
of
one? I
powers and
kinda
abilities.
forgot.
You
Was
see,
it
D
the
is what we
guy
like
who
to call a
fought
walking hacks
Venom?
and power machine.
I don't know,
So
I
big
forgot.
that only
I
a
forgot.
human fiction can match the level of absurdity he has.
Almost as if D is the strongest being in the world. Wait, being the strongest vampire in the world? Oh my Gaia, does that mean that D in his name stands for Durak?
Dampier.
What the hell is a Dampier?
Basically, he's half vampire and human. His father is most likely agreed to be Drac, although based on his age and when the sacred ancestor was around before causing the nuclear war.
Was close enough, so I still called it. Anyway, with his abilities, he has enhanced senses all around, can manipulate how someone
So,
seems, control the heat around
Alucard
people, can
is
generate
Dracula,
negative
and this
generation of
guy
others.
is
He has
assumed to
telepathy, he
be
can
the
easily
son
know
of
the atomic
Dracula.
structure of objects, he can paralyze
This is gonna be the
someone's
best
fear
father
easily,
and son
know someone's
balding
aura, and he can
experience
copy
known to
techniques with a
mankind.
simple glance.
Besides all that, he can resurrect himself, read minds, force people to say the truth, can control electricity, resist being put to sleep, his sword has existence resistance, can manipulate someone else's pain, biology, and mind at the same time, and so much more. Look at all these.
Yeah, we thought Travis was stupid. D makes him look like child's play. Wait a minute, he's not here, right? Okay, good. And that's nothing else compared to some of his feats. The dude has dodged bullet, point-blank lightning at some point, and even just reflex, he threw an arrow so fast it caught on literal fire.
And he's been fighting for over 10,000 years. He's a master vampire killer, like, that's literally his profession. He's able to deduce how to handle enemies in a matter of seconds, and he's also so strong he's scaled Dr. Croddock, who punched this crab who made earthquakes that can be felt from miles away. Such a feat would need around 18 tons of force, but that's nothing compared to this.
Okay, so from the more tame side of the novels, he basically shaved off an entire mountain, only making
Damn.
one field. So based on what the women said, 3 of the mountains are 12,000 feet tall, 7 of them are 10,000 feet tall, and the mountain with the name Mount North Lake was said to be 15,000 feet tall. And D laid flat to all of these mountains in a matter of 2 seconds. So when we put pulverization, since it's confirmed all the mountains became flat with this swing, D just made over 12.7 megatons of TNT. Enough to destroy
Damn.
the mountain.
Sometimes even the most powerful have flaws. He's weak to the sun, is slowed down by 30% in the rain, is weak to holy weapons, to an extent, and for some reason, roses and all the other stuff vampires are weak to. Heck, in the manga he originally died by having a stake through the heart. But lastly, his biggest weakness. The dude's just one of the nicest people in the world. Sometimes when he shouldn't just let people go, which did lead to his first death.
Good thing he cut off that guy's hand and then killed him when he begged for mercy the second time. Kinda shot yourself in the foot there, buddy.
Or
The guy is
the
also
hand,
so
because,
thoughtful
you
for
know, he
others
got
in the
cut
manga
off.
after found love. He left them because he knew being around them will just cause them more trouble. He had to sacrifice his own happiness for the safety of her and her younger brother. But hey, in a world full of moving towns with no destinations, people stuck in sleeping time loops, awful monsters, vampires, and slave trades, it's nice to know one guy at least is trying to make the world a better place. You know what, Archer? Maybe not all vampires are so bad after all.
Demon, that's kinda sweet coming from you.
Don't get used to it.
Listen, Meyer, the woman says she wants to go back home.
Alright,
I don't believe it.
The fuck was that?
Alright, the combatants are set.
It was like a
Let's finish
singular
this.
frame of
Will D make
something.
the No
I
White
don't know what
King
that
live
was.
no more? Or will Alucard make the vampire hunter the hunted?
Time for these two fictional characters to...
Alright, I'm gonna go in assuming Alucard would win. I don't know, there's just... No. Shit. D cut apart a mountain. And that's really impressive. I don't know. I'm gonna go with D. I feel like cutting apart a mountain is more impressive than what Alucard did. Oh, this one's made by is it? It's Gabriel, right? I think it starts with a G. I think. It's a lot of murder. Yo, he was about to shoot him in the back of the head. This is exactly like Alucard versus Spawn, the best episode of the first show of mankind! Yeah, Jesus Christ. This one is very bloody. I don't know, there was something about D's scream that was kind of funny to me. How many times are his fucking organs gonna get spread across the fucking pavement? Do that? I don't remember them talking about that. Damn. Alright, let's go, D.
Jesus, you're cold-blooded and badass. While on paper, this fight seemed rather close, but when you get into the nitty-gritty, that's when the scales tip to D's favor.
When it came down to raw stats, Alucard and D were nearly identical. When it came to speed, both were capable of dodging bullets, but in terms of raw power, D annihilated Alucard. Comparing 24.47 tons of TNT to 12.70 megatons of TNT simply mopped the floor with Al.
To put that into perspective, a single megaton is worth about 1 million tons of TNT, making D literally millions of times more powerful than Alucard. And even with the 7 kiloton blood river, wouldn't be enough to match it. Also, when it came to abilities, D just had a load of ways dealing with Alucard. Such as fire, knowing Alucard's entire atomic makeup, paralyzing Alucard, or straight up copying Alucard's abilities.
However, his two saving graces were that D can negate Alucard's regeneration and his Vortex Hand. With it, D had solid ways of putting down Alucard, whilst Alucard's options of killing D were extremely limited.
And if he couldn't do that, he can grab Alucard's head and force the truth behind his powers with his hand spilling out everything he needs to know. His hand has a thing for that and other things. Overall, this fight would be a huge uphill struggle for Alucard, especially since Alucard isn't used to long, drawn-out fights. When you look at both the anime and manga, Alucard usually ends a fight in a few seconds. Plus, Alucard would be making things a whole lot easier for D via activating level 0, since Alucard loses all of his souls, aka his extra lives.
And with D's whole mountain vaporization feat, it would be very easy for him to annihilate that army in a single sword swing. Plus, when D realized Alucard is a vampire, it was much less a battle and more of a puzzle for D to solve, which is how he kills vampires in his own series. The guy has been killing vampires for thousands of years. It's literally what he's known for. But now it's time to discuss the German cat femboy in the room. Frickin' Schrödinger.
Now, if you get Al Schrödinger
Those
with
are
oneness a bit tedious since he's only had it for a few
words
seconds, and if you give it to him, he wouldn't have his standard person.
Here we are.
Sugar doesn't make Alucard any stronger, just makes him nearly unkillable. Emphasis on nearly.
Yeah, quantum physics are weird like that. With Schrödinger, it doesn't really change the battle's outcome whatsoever. At worst, it would be a draw. And if we gave Alucard Schrödinger, we could always give D his tunes from the novels. While Schrödinger may be strong, he ain't surviving the erased on a conceptual level. Yeah, we didn't give D these tunes in the analysis, but for the sake of argument, if we fully went with the idea of Schrödinger Alucard, it would only be fair to give D this item. Also, in the novels, he has a section of D killing an elder god who's also omnipotent, so, oh well.
Alucard might have been the vampire king, but he lacked the stats and abilities to put the son of Dracula for good. So while Alucard had the time of his life that would have made his blood rise, he didn't have the heart to sink his teeth into victory.
We've been gone for nearly half a year.
This was a
This
fucking crazy summer
Yep.
son.
Wait a minute.
A
Alucard
father
is
and
Dracula.
son balding experience.
Does that mean he's D's?
The winner is D, the vampire hunter.
Next time,
No.
fictional characters collide.
Funny women. Okay, here's this right side of the microphone. Yeah, yeah, that was a pretty good episode, honestly. Yeah, I liked it. I like it. It's pretty alright, I guess. I like the hand drawn bit during the death. That was pretty alright. Pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I'm remembering the guy's name correctly. Gabe. Okay, yeah, Gabriel. Yeah, that is his name. Yeah, Gabriel always is pretty good at animation, even if I personally think his animations are kind of feel a bit samey after a bit. It doesn't change the fact that they are still pretty alright. I mean, why do I keep on saying alright? I mean good. I think they are pretty good. Yeah. So yeah, that was a pretty good episode. I can't believe D just murdered his father like that. Like, come on, dude.
Come back with?
Yep. Wait a minute. Alucard is Dracula. Does that mean he's D's?
The winner is
See, he even Demon caught on. He's like a dumbass, I'm pretty sure. Isn't he like supposed to be like a dumbass, like the dumbass host within this show? Isn't that like, I don't know. I haven't seen every episode, but in Boros versus Deoxys, he was a pretty big dumbass if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, I guess that's it for the funny haha video, and I'm going to sleep, I guess. I don't know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. All the edits. Actually, before I end the video, I gotta see if my shitty thumbnail made it to the credits. Alright, let's see. Yeah! Let's go! Oh, this is so fucking stupid.